Hello everyone, welcome back to the next session of this course. So, today we will be learning about how to register a copyright in India. Now, before this, we need to understand the fact that copyright is automatic in nature. So, the moment you create or express an original and unique work, you are the owner and your work is copyrightable. But then additional registration matters because just in case your work and its ownership is disputed or questioned, and whether the matter is taken to court, then it gives you sort of a legal proof. So of course in the previous sessions we have already talked about the things that can be copyrighted, so we don't need to go through this session once again. But let's talk about who can apply for copyright registration. So, of course, first one is the author who has created the work. Second one is the owner of those rights. So, it can be either a publisher or a producer or an employer. Now, the third one can be a legal heir or an assignee. And fourth one can be an authorized agent with a power of attorney. And just keep in mind that even minors can apply for copyright. Okay, let's talk about the documents that you will need to register a copyright in India. So the first one is Form 14 application. Second one is Statement of Particulars. Third one is Statement of Further Particulars. This one is for literary, dramatic or musical work. Then the fourth one is copies of your work, and fifth one is power of an attorney in case you are using an agent, and sixth one is a no objection certificate. Now the no objection certificate, which is also known as NOC, it is used in case you are not the author, you are just claiming the ownership, or in case of work that uses third party content. Now, how do you register, or how do you file an application? So firstly, you have to go to this website copyright.gov.in and create an account there and then log in. Now after that, you need to fill out Form 14, upload the particulars, upload the work and pay the fee. Now here the fee can depend on whether your work is literary in nature or whether it's a film. So it can be anywhere between 500 to 5,000. It can vary depending upon the nature of your work. Then you will receive a diary number as an acknowledgement, and you need to send a signed hard copy of that acknowledgement to the Copyright Office in Delhi. Now once you send the hard copy to the Copyright Office, there is usually a 30-day waiting period in case any objection arises. And in case there are no objections, then the registrar examines your work, and if they are satisfied, then your work is entered into the register of copyrights. And lastly, then you will receive a certificate of registration, which is usually provided digitally. Now, registration is not exactly compulsory, but then again it makes enforcement easier, and it also strengthens your stance in court in case of any dispute, and it also provides a tangible public record of your rights. Now, that is basically how a copyright is registered in India. Now, NOC plays a very important role to sort out any possible disputes that might arise in future. So, just in brief, let us look at the format of how a no objection certificate is drafted. So, here as you can see, of course, you start with the letterhead, then the date, your application number if it is necessary. Then the format usually includes, but it's not very solid to exactly this, but it can vary depending upon the situation where you're applying that NOC form. So basically it is like I, then the name of the author or whoever the creator is, son/daughter of, then the parent's name, residing at, then the address. Do hereby declare that I am the author of the work, then title, the name of the title that is completed on date, whatever the date is. Then I have no objection to then applicant's name or the organization, whatever it is, filing and registering this work in their name as the copyright owner. I confirm that I have assigned my rights to them and I have no claim over the ownership. Now, this can vary according to the situation, whether there are multiple authors in this work or multiple owners, or whether they have taken some content from third party. And lastly, you can mention that this contract has been made voluntarily without any pressure or without any misinterpretation on the particular date whenever it was formatted. Then, lastly, with your name and your signature and the date if it is required. So, this is basically how a no objection certificate looks like, but of course, it can vary depending on different cases and different situations. Alright, so that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching this session, and I hope you found it practical and helpful. From the next session, we will start with trademarks. Okay, thank you so much for coming. I hope you have a great day. This is Bhargavi, and you're watching Vaquill.